Hey, what's up, Motocross History community? As you can see in the title, there's going to be some new additions to the channel, kind of like right now. I'm still going to be putting out those classic races, national races, MXGPs, all the good stuff, all the legends. So that'll keep happening a couple times a week. And I'll keep researching stuff online, some to find some of those classic battles, that rare footage that is hard to find even today. But there's going to be some more additions, kind of like what's going on now. Some of the races that I put out have commentary, some don't. A lot of the times I prefer the ones that don't, because you can hear the sound of the 500, which is sometimes the best part. I'll throw in a couple of voice captions here and there so that you guys still get to hear the sound of the 500s. But I'll also be putting out on a more regular basis what you've seen recently, the What Happened To series, as I've done before. What happened to Rick Johnson? What happened to Jean-Michel Bale? Most recently, what happened to Travis Parker? Guys that were big names throughout the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, and all of a sudden they just disappear. Instead of putting captions, I'll start narrating it. But some of the new additions I'm going to put in this channel go back to the original reason why I started this channel to begin with. I'm just completing 24 years of active duty military service. A little bit about my military history. 2 weeks after 9/11 occurred, I was standing tall in a recruiter's office, and this was the Army recruiter's office. And they had found out for me a new program, which was just beginning, called the 18 X-ray program. For any of you that have never heard of the 18 X-ray program, go ahead and look it up on Google. I'm not going to go into it on this channel. But that took me down a road to basic training, and then to about 2 years of specialized training. And by early 2004, I was on a special forces team where I remained for almost 8 years, after which I decided to go to a selection for another unit on Fort Bragg, and I spent 14 years there and just recently retired. And for all you guys in the comments, if the voice versus the captions is more of a distraction, just let me know and I'll go right back to captions. Whatever makes you guys feel more comfortable watching the videos and the clips. I just want to add, while I'm talking about this history, that I really appreciate all of you regulars that continue to watch and comment on nearly every video that I put out. I greatly appreciate it. Now, with respect to motocross, I first threw my leg over a motocross bike when I was about 17 years old. My childhood friend, he and his dad and his little brother used to ride all the time. When I got my driver's license, we took his bike out to the woods, and he had a CR 125, and I rode that for the first time and I was hooked. So his dad had a CR 500, so I decided to try it out one time, and it was like the first time you fall in love. It's freaking awesome. I couldn't believe it. Power for days. And when I competed, I didn't have to worry about my size. Now, being 6'2" and 190 and pretty built, like, that's nothing to shake a stick at. I was never out of shape. But still, as I looked across the line when I would race the 500 class or the open class, guys were still 150 to 180 pounds. Every once in a while, you'd see a guy with a little boiler of a stomach. No big deal. Those are usually the fastest guys, actually, the Jojo Keller types. And I was just in love with this bike. I had an obsession for the 500, such a strong passion. And that's why you guys can see now a lot of my videos, I'm not gonna lie, I'm more biased toward putting out videos and history on the 500s than I am on the 250s, and especially the 125s, and especially nowadays the 4-strokes. I very rarely put anything out on 4-stroke competition unless, as you get older, I'm now in my early 50s, so as you get older, you kind of cheer for the older guy, the Eli Tomacks, the Jeffrey Hurlings, guys that are now in their early 30s, even though they're almost 20 years younger than me. They're still about 10 years older than their competition, which I can relate to. Back then, you couldn't just get online. This is pre-internet. You couldn't just get online and just look up ex-pros that were trainers or were willing to train you once a week. It was on your own. You would watch and analyze professional races and try to mimic that as best as possible. And just putting in time and laps was the only way you got better. And even that was limited due to the weather. So needless to say, I was never really any good. But that did not crush my passion at all. I raced all the way into my mid-20s. Raced and rode all the way into my mid-20s. And then 9/11 happened. And when that happened, I developed a new passion. And when you go into the military, it's almost like you go into a time capsule. And so the passion I had for motocross, which was everything, but I had to put that passion on hold because I really wanted to serve the country. So I did it. Like I said, you feel like you're going into a time capsule. And I was so busy during those 20 plus years that there was no time for motocross. There was no time for anything. There was barely enough time to have a family. I spent collectively over in the conflict zone, which is what they call it now. They used to call it the combat zone. I spent probably anywhere between 5 to 6 years collectively over there. And when I wasn't there, I was in other countries doing things that obviously can't talk about, but everything was to fight the good fight. The same fight that there was the specific reasons for which we went into Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, parts of Africa, things of that nature. The unit that I retired from, they give you a year to retire. So your last year, you come off of operations and all you do is retire. You get your retirement stuff ready. By that time, my body was so beat up that I required 6 surgeries. One of them being a total knee replacement, biceps tendinosis on both shoulders, discectomy on my back, and then other ones like maxillofacial surgery. On top of that, I'd taken one too many hits to the noggin and had what was called traumatic brain injuries, multiple TBIs, and there are many delayed side effects of TBIs, and unfortunately mine ended up being seizures. So I started having seizures, and that really sucked. I was never really afraid of anything in my life, but that definitely scared me because I had no control over it, didn't know when it was going to happen, and it kept happening. Finally, I was put on good medication, anti-seizure medication, and it seems to be working. It's been a year, knock on wood, since I've had my last seizure. So that was a sign that it was also time to get out. But when I was laid up after these surgeries, recovering, all I really had, like the total knee replacement, took me 3 months to recover from. And those first 2 or 3 weeks, you're just laying up in your bed waiting for the swelling to go down. So all I really had was my computer, phone, and TV. And as I'm flipping through the sports channels, lo and behold, I see a motocross race. And I had not watched a motocross race in 20 plus years. Like I said, you feel like you're coming out of a time capsule. And when I went into that time capsule, 2-strokes ruled the world. If you were able to follow the MXGP world, even the open class still existed. So certain videos I will dedicate to those, especially those members that I know of the military that have ended their lives, that have families that need to be recognized. People need to know the toll that it takes on them and their families. And if there's something that you guys as you watch this want to do about it, let me know in the comments. Hit me up directly, and I'll put you in touch with people, or at least to be able to help financially or whatever you want to do. I'll put you in touch with the surviving family members, the Gold Star families that we call them, and we'll get that word out. So, to put a bow on everything here, 2 main reasons for this channel. Number 1 is to recognize the fallen, of those that serve their country so well. Number 2 is to bring back that 500, or at least keep it alive. Come on, guys. I know many of you listening have a 500. Get it out to the track. Let people hear about it. Any kind of big bore. Let people hear about it. But a lot of my emphasis will be on the 500 and will be on the topic of the big bore. So just to give you an idea, I'll be able to also, when I do clips of me riding, I have everything from original 500s, an original KX 500, CR 500, YZ 490. I even have a Mako 500. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. It's in pristine condition, and I don't want to break anything on it. So I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to keep it. Pretty soon, I'm going to be getting a KTM 500. I have a couple of KTM 360s. I even have a 1990 YZ 250 with a Nolene's Olin's big bore kit on it that makes it a 360. I have a newer 2015 YZ 250 with Eddie Sanders Racing ESR big bore kit on it that makes it a 345. I have a 2017 KTM 300 with an Athena big bore kit on it. I also am planning on, sooner rather than later, getting a hold of the new Beta 350. Man, I think I think big bore is coming back. It's become so popular that I think it's coming back. Let's get the word out there to start a 2-stroke national series in the United States. That would be, even if it's only 4 or 5 races, that would be awesome. Hey, there's a WSX, a World Supercross series that's only like, 4 races? But it's 2 motos, so 8 races. That's awesome. There's got to be promoters that are out there that want to do the same thing for 2 strokes. So that's what I have for you guys today. Like I said, I really appreciate you guys tuning in, liking, and commenting. I urge you to keep doing that. Any ideas that you guys have that you want me to put together and to edit and to put out, just let me know. And we will talk to you all soon. Thanks.